we're up to the next part of our drawing, charcoal portrait drawing. What did we get up to? When I left you last, we were thinking about this large area here and wondering if the best thing to use would be some powdered charcoal or charcoal powder. So in this part of the lesson, we're going to have a look at how you can use a brush and powdered charcoal to create the effects that you want in large expanses. Not so much in small, using your fingers fine for small. This is the art dog Charlie. She's my little charcoal pooch, aren't you? And you're going to help me today. Mwah. Okay. So, we're going to think about how we can use charcoal powder up in this area up here. So I've got my source image always close at hand. The other things that I've got are a watercolor brush that's got some substance to it, like it's not super floppy, but it's a soft brush. So that works well to do this. Hey Charlie. I've got some sandpaper and I'm going to grind my willow charcoal into this old dog food tin. Is that why you're hanging around? You want the dog food tin? Oh, well it's empty, Charlie, you already ate it. The other thing I've got is my squidgy rubber, always close on hand, and, excuse me, my willow charcoal. Willow, which we know is the one that's really, doesn't weigh very much. It's light and airy feeling. So I'm just going to scrape a little bit of powder into my container by, which is what I'm doing right now, by scratching it along the sandpaper. Okay, and it leaves quite a nice little pile, and it actually eats up the willow charcoal. The whole stick just nearly went then, just in that little time. So I've got some powder in there. Now make sure your container's dry and clean and not greasy. Now I'm just dabbing into there, but I'm also going to tap because I don't want it to be super dark. Some people like to do the whole drawing this way, this under layer, but I don't, and I don't think you should. I think you should just keep it for the big areas. So I'm just starting to lay it down here, and you can see it leaves a slightly different texture from when you do it with your, and I'll show you that in a minute, when you do it with your finger, because it actually kind of pushes it into the gaps a little bit more on the paper, depending on how textured your paper is. And you don't want to push too hard, because really all you're doing is giving a really light, you can barely see it, a really light layer. And if you push in too hard, there's no way that you're ever going to be able to rub this back. And what we want to be able to do is to use our squidgy rubber at a later stage to be able to make highlights back into whatever area we've put down, whether we put it down with our finger and smudge it in or with the brush. We want that option of being able to make adjustments to this, which is why the yellow charcoal is what we use when we're starting off. He's got a bit of a shadow coming down here, so you know, it's like I'm painting, almost painting, well I am painting with the charcoal. What's up, Charlie? You go outside. Okay, there we go. You go outside. There you go. There you go. The art dog has left the building. actually going to do is I'm actually going to bring it, so you can see that this part's getting quite a bit darker. I'm actually going to bring it all the way over because I want it to actually be a nice base for this large area. Now you can see I've started to build up the areas of tone. Almost like I'm painting, it almost looks a little bit like a rock face or some curtains or something, but it's emulating the light and shadow on his face. Then there's this other eye here. It's a bit odd at the moment because it doesn't look like it matches, but that's because there's a lot of shadow in here, which I haven't drawn in. So as I was saying in the other lessons, you're not actually sort of drawing the outline of the object or the shape, you're actually drawing around it with tone, and that makes it appear. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe the next part of this might be having a think about how I can start adding to the tone on the forehead, and then I might have a go at the eye.